Hello viewers, Flash Motorsport here and welcome to Road America. Now we haven't had Road America for a little while now and this is the full circuit, so let's see how it goes and let's go. I am on the medium set of tyres. I decided not to qualify and see how we get along. I've had a great start off the line, ploughing through everyone. I decided to try and make a little gap here, except for the wall was there and the wall slowed me down. So word of advice is the wall doesn't make you faster. As you come into our first corner, the shenanigans already start playing themselves around, and a few cars are sideways and one has just come back from being visible. Coming down to turn 2, more carnage ensues as everybody is still trying to find their place in this world. This poor person in a Ford Focus is finding their places on the lawn. I had 50% of the help in that. It wasn't 100% my fault. I could say actually probably more about 25% my fault. Yeah, you decide in the comments. As we're looking on our right hand side, we're looking after the 200 board. 3, 2, brake in, down to second gear, and I decided to take up the inside. Literally dive bomb myself right through there, and it worked out pretty well. Coming up to the under the Corvette sign, braking down to second gear, rubbed it in the curb, not onto the mud, and power on out the other side. Bank over to the left hand side and you can come and take this right pretty much flat out. And you're looking on your right hand side here again for the 200 board. And braking down to second gear. Over the curbs and far away, put your foot down. And basically keep more to the right hand side of the track. Following this dirt line here, the darker part of the track was where it's been rubbered in the most. Don't touch the grass, I've done it a few times. The grass really puts you off on your speed. And flat out the other side. Looking at our rear view mirror, more carnage ensues as we're about to take this next hand corner flat out. There we go, that's 1, 2, 3 cars off the track behind us in the rear view mirror. Wow, this race is turning out to be quite interesting. As we look on the left hand side, looking out for the 400 board, braking down to second gear. You want to brake quite early here because the speed you're carrying and you're braking in later, you end up going straight off the track. I know, I have the experience. Anyway, reducing the speed to about 85-90 miles per hour. Coming through here, another person off the track. I'm braking at the 100 board, down to third gear, coming round and then powering back on out the side. You can take the outer curb a little bit more than what I just did. Just be mindful, don't go into the grass. Coming down the fast straight as we cross over the start and finish line. We are now in P6 position. Done pretty well up to now. We started off pretty much at the back of the pack. Now in P6. Looking your left hand side for the 300 board, braking down to third gear, coast it round, and power on out the other side. Coming down the hill, you're looking out for the 100 board on your left hand side, just after these signs, and there it is, down to third gear, bring it over to your right, and power back on coming out the other side. Again, you're coming down the back end of the fast straight, and we're looking to try and catch up to the Punisher in P5 position. They're 1.3 seconds ahead. And I've adjusted the gear ratio so I can get a bit more top end speed down here than I would do usually. Looking out for the 200 board, braking down to second gear, rub the inner curb and power back on. You can come onto the outside a bit, but those curbs are a little bit bumpy and can throw your car off balance, so it's a case of chancing it really. Anyway, the Punisher's gone off track, so we're going to make up a bit of time on them. Lucky for me, another person's gone off track. Yeah, there seems to be a theme in this race. Grass cutting. I think everybody this week wanted to be a lawnmower. I can't grumble because it's gaining me a few places for free. Anyway, as we're coming around here, like I say, be mindful of the dirt and the grass. It's so easy just to touch that dirt and it does end up throwing you right off your pace. Trying to catch up to the Punisher in P4 position now, 0.5 seconds ahead of me, and they've gone onto the dirt again, straight off the track. See what I mean about the dirt. And then this happens. Pushes me straight off track, and for some reason the dirt here is like driving through sand. Like, I've driven on grass before, and no way does it slow you down that much. Like, you know, is that grass made out of sand that just bogs you in? I don't know, so that's a few places lost. So I decided to become part of the lawnmower crew as well. Down to P11. It could have been worse. I could have gone down a lot more. But it's a case of now I've really got to try and make up the time I have lost. And I'm not too sure if the incident with the Punisher was an accident or not. It looks like when they rejoined the track, the car was still very unbalanced and unsteady on itself, and they were trying to compensate for that, and I was overtaking at the stupidest time possible. Although it's their responsibility to rejoin the track safely and they took me out, I still should have added an element of common sense of going, they've rejoined, I should have just backed off and watched them go off the track again. I don't know. What do you say in the comments? Let me know. Am I an idiot? Now we're in a position to overtake this Honda to our left hand side. Dave 7990 has been overtaken, and I'm a bit worried here that they're going to come into the apex, but they don't. They give me a bit of space, we give each other some space, and I managed to take that corner and position extremely cleanly. So great racing from us both. Thank you very much. Now they're trying to catch up to Mr. Person in P8. I'm not going to try and pronounce that name. Anyway, I'm going to use the link as a bit of slipstream, catch up behind them, and I was looking to make a dive bomb here, but I decided to back out. Everybody decided to go for the apex, and it wasn't worth pushing anybody out of the way or putting myself in jeopardy. But coming to the next corner here, I decide to brake inside line, and I get touched. Which begs the question of the apex syndrome is, why do you have to even aim for the apex when you know there's a vehicle there? You can blatantly see a vehicle there because I was literally side by side. Why aim for it? And it happens again here. Now, I think it's a bit of lag here because the Mercedes to the right randomly slows down a bit more than expected. They were braking and then suddenly braked a lot more, and then they turned in. And when they braked a lot more, I already creeped up the inside by then. So I think there was a bit of lag or latency going on between me and the Mercedes, which is why the Mercedes wasn't expecting me to be on the inside and turned in. Because if you think about it, and they didn't brake any harder, I would have been further back than what they saw on their screen. So I think that was a case of lag on both of our ends. Let me know what you think down below. But as we're coming around to the next corner, down second gear and powering on, I brake a little bit harder and go through the corner a lot slower to create a little bit of a bottleneck behind us and take the corner as deep as I can. This was push the MG that was pretty much about to dive bomb up the inside of me back into the path of the Mercedes. Thus, them two starting to fight a bit more instead of fighting around me. Coming out in P9 position, we've got a couple of cars ready to overtake, but I decided to stay on the inside as much as I can, except for the Lavorg decides they want the inside line as well. And I think that's just a mistake on the Lavorg. Went in a bit deeper than expected, and I had nowhere to go. I was already on the inside, 3/4 of the way up the curb. There's nothing I could have done there. But I want to try and chase down the Punisher. I want to get in front of the Punisher because they were the one that got me off the track and down to the position I was in. Right now I'm in P10. Obviously the incident with Lavorg slowed us down a little bit. So jumping ahead, we're going to catch up to the Punisher and try and make a move on them. I think their tyres are a little bit worn out. They're onto the grass, so that was a really easy move for me, I'm not going to lie. Skipping ahead to the last lap, we are making a move on P6, P5. That will now be P6. Looking out for the 300 board and braking down to third gear. And they managed to get a much better corner than I did. The Mercedes that's coming behind me has not long come out the pit, so they are on much better tyres than I am, which is not a good sign considering mine are getting pretty worn, and I think they are on softs. They might have started on hard, so they are definitely much quicker. They are looking at who's going to be the fastest down the straight here and inciting me to go on a little bit more, which is quite nice. Very rarely get a bump draft like that. But the problem is the Mercedes started, well, MG and Mercedes started collaborating a little bit, and that slowed the Mercedes down overall. Well, whilst them two are arguing, I am managing to break free, catching up to the Honda in P4, catching up to Dave 7990. So I go on the outside of Dave here. As we go through the corner, Dave gives me a little nudge, and then another nudge, and another nudge after that. Now I think Dave was stuck in a position here because the Mercedes is also to the right of me here. So I think Dave nudged me and then nudged into the Mercedes, and it was literally like a little pinball in between us both. I'm not too sure. Like I said, the rearview mirror is terrible, but I can only presume that it was literally being in the middle of a pinball in that one. So I feel sorry for Dave right now. Oh, blimey. He got literally swallowed whole. But Mercedes is took position, and I want to catch up to that Mercedes and try and keep up the slipstream. which then will get me away from the Audi in P6. The MG is much further back, and we're on our last lap. So if I can make this work, we might actually gain P5. Braking at the 400 board, down to second gear, over the curb, and powering back on. Mercedes is quite quick through here, I'm not going to lie. They've got a very good setup in that car, much better than I have on this MG. And the Audi is breathing down my neck as well. I'm gaining a few temps away here and there from them, but it's a bit closer. I know it's 1 second away than what I like. But that final turn has made the deal. I managed to get a good break away from them. Still in the tow of the Mercedes, and we crossed the line in a P5 position. Now I'd like to point out that over 80% of you are not subscribed to the channel. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and leave me a comment down below. It massively helps out the channel. Now on to Daytona. We're doing Daytona again because it's a new track and it's quite a fast track. Now I've been wondering for the last few days since I've done the last video, can you do a full race of Daytona on a set of hard tyres? The last race I did, there was 2 sets of mediums, so if I can get away with 1 set of hards, I might be in a chance of winning this race again. The science is there because some hard tyres should last about 2 sets of mediums, give or take the abuse you put them through. But this is the start of the track. Everybody goes left because of the camber of the road. None of us compensate for that. I'm looking around us where the person to the right is. They are obviously not there. So I take the outside line here for some unknown reason and basically back out. I have enough room to back out behind and everything like that, and I back out again. Obviously everybody wants to hit the apex. I know what's going to happen. Everybody's stuck to that line. I am not going to chance getting pushed off the track. Anyway, I get nudged from behind, not a problem. I'm on hards, you can nudge all you like, push me forward, I'm happy with that. And try and catch up to the pack again in front. I am going to be slower, I'm on hards, everybody else is on mediums, and I've got to bear that in mind. Braking at the end of the cones, down to second gear, and keep to the right hand side. I let the Audi try and take up the inside line, because then I've got the inside line on the next corner in front of us. As you come to the cones, braking at the end of the cones, down to second gear and turn in. Power on as soon as you turn the hard part in and come out the other side. You can see the Audi is very friendly, but we are now too far away of the cars in front for the slipstream. It's not an issue though, because them two are not working together with the slipstream, more working against each other. So I've changed the gear ratio again, so the top end is about 165. So hopefully on the straights I'll be able to catch them up. Braking at the right green glowing sign, down to third gear, over the curbs. I don't do this curb all that well, but I do manage to claw back a bit of distance from the cars in front. Due to everybody not taking that corner all that well, the people behind also manage to claw back a little bit as well, but they're not in the tow distance, which is what I'm happy about, so they can't catch up with a bit of slipstream. I am keeping up behind these guys though, but I am not overly going to push to overtake or anything like that. I'm going to try and keep up with them and basically throw them off that there's somebody else that's joining the party. You see this poor Mercedes is being battered around left and right. Braking down second gear, 2 people out, and that is a position gained for me. Well, 2 positions gained for us. Oh look, another car's gone off behind as well. That's, well, 2 positions gained and 3 people off the track. Entertaining to watch. Down to second gear, we're coming a little bit hot. Got to remember I am on the hard tyres and I forget that myself, so I should have taken the corner a bit slower. But then again, the Mercedes shouldn't have rammed into the side of me, pushed me off the track. They should stay on their inside if they're going to be inside. It's not like it's not wide enough, but I don't know. Whatever, each to their own I guess. Braking down to second gear and turn in. Powering back on as soon as you come round, you have a good wide exit. You can bring it over to the outer curb and try and keep up the slipstream of the cars in front. As soon as the cones end, braking down to second gear, turning in and powering back on out the other side. You see the Mercedes is a person to take every corner as wide as possible, so I can understand now why they're clouding into the side of me. And this is a little bit of what I don't like about going down the straight, is the left, right, left, right, left, right. I don't know if they're on a keyboard, a mouse or something or whatever. It really puts me on edge. But I don't know what their next plan on move is. They are pushing me over to the right hand side, so I'll back out, let them have that position. I don't want to be crushed into the wall and be spun off or whatever. I can catch them back up. It's not like their car's fast. So they would think they're going to get a penalty for that to really cut the grass there. Yep, there you go. 0.8 second penalty. That's got a sting on a track this quick. I am 1.3 seconds behind now because, like I say, I did really back out. Probably a little bit too much, but it happens. I can catch up. It's not a problem. I'm not going to sweat about it. We've got another 6 odd laps to go. Anyway, like I say, I'm still faster down the straights. 1.5 seconds ahead. Coming over the curb. There we go. Braking down to second gear. And take it nice and tight on the inside. Powering back on out the other side. Straight through here, flat out. You can easily do this flat out. Come over to your left hand side. As soon as the cones end, braking down to second gear. Turn right, watch out for the roller coaster, it's really distracting. And powering back on out the other side. Keep to your right hand side here. You can take this next corner flat out. I do bottle it a little bit with hard tyres on. It's not a chance I'm willing to take. I'm pushing it too far. I'm going to be a lawnmower again like I was on the last race. Braking down in second gear. I'm taking it real slow and cautious and tight and powering back on. Maybe I could have gone a little bit quicker, but I've come out the corner quite well. Braking at the start of the cones, down in second gear, turning in and powering back on as soon as you come out the other side. Mercedes has overtaken the Audi and I'm 2.2 seconds behind now, which is not good. The gap is getting bigger, but they are on better set of tyres than I am. Lap 5, we're coming up to the bus stop. Me and the Audi to my left hand side have a little bit of an issue here. They have the inside line. I'm braking at the green light as we turn in together. I end up clipping the back of the Audi, which then puts me, like you see now, in quite a bad position. I was in P2. My own fault really. I should have defended that position better and not let the Audi take the inside line. I should have covered the inside line and forced them to the outside, which would have given me a better position. So I've got to learn to defend a lot better than what I am doing. No harm, no foul. I'm a few positions down now and quite a bit of a gap, but I don't have to pit. The Audi's gone into pit, so that is a position gain for me because everybody else in the rearview mirror has gone into pit. Now I've got 2 laps to go. These tyres are quite worn. Can I make it work? That's the question, isn't it? That's the question we all want to know. That matters the most of this whole race. Not what I finish as, not anything like that. Whether these tyres survive. I'm not going to tell you now though. But as we come over to the left hand side, as the cones end, we're braking down to second gear, take the inside line, watch the roller coaster go around again because it's extremely distracting, and power on out the other side. Looking at the position I am in now, look at my tyres. Let me know down in the comments below whether you think I'll hold P2 or I'll go down the stack a little bit, and whether my tyres will make it or not. Let me know your predictions down in the comments. Love to see them. Anyways, we're coming around this side, powering on out the side, trying not to rub my tyres too much because they're worn, but yeah. Braking at the cone starts, not at the cone ends, and I won't go as deep as I did. Turning in, powering on at the other side, and flat out again through this back bit. Now HV Spike 3 Rhino is quite far ahead of me, but luckily enough also is a P3, which is what I like to see. And I've got 2 laps to try and keep them away from me, which is quite a long time. But lucky for me, like I say, you've got a lot of these fast straights, and I can make these fast straights work. Braking at the green light, down to third gear, turning in over the curbs, getting it better than what I have done before. I can go a little bit quicker, but like I said, my tyres are worn, so I haven't got the confidence in the car that I need to have. But like I was saying, I have these fast straights that I can capitalise on and try and make a gap from the players behind. You see now I'm near enough 7 seconds away on these straights here, but the problem is when I go into the inner circuit of the track, this is where my time is going to be massively reduced. They're going to catch right up on me, and it's hard to wait up, let's be honest. As you come over here, you'll see the black tarmac just there. Braking down to third gear, let off, and then brake again down to second gear and turn in. Powering back on out the side and flat out through this next bit. We're going to skip ahead to the final lap. Now, as you can see, P3 is quite close behind me. They've made up 3 seconds, which is not the best, but I managed to hold them at pace. So if I keep this 3 seconds gap, I'm in a good position. As you can really see, my tyres are absolutely dead. I mean, there's nothing to them. There's no even point in turning. You know, They're just diabolical. I have got no confidence in these tyres. I'm letting off left, right and centre, and the car behind is really catching up. You see, I am pretty much just a little bit left on them. A little bit. But I can't do nothing with them. I'm just smoking them up. So 1.4 seconds, 1.3 seconds. It's going to be close. It's going to be in a position I think I'm going to lose it. I just might as well let them have it. I can't do nothing. I've tried. There's even a little touch to Molly. Oh my gosh. I've done well. Come on. A round of applause for that. I've done well. These tyres, I've done extremely well. I think I'm the only one that's not pitted, and it shows. It really does show. I'm catching up in the slipstream, like I say, but this bus stop bit, I'm not going to be able to make a move on. I'm going to have to back right out of that. I'm braking down to third gear, and look at that. I'm braking, and the car's just not even turning. I'm down to 70 miles an hour when I can usually take it about 95 to 100. It's just nothing in these tyres. But I'm on podium. I'm on podium. I didn't even start, and even at podium, I started further down the pack. So can you make hard tyres work from the beginning to the end? Yes. Should you? God, no. No way. It is not worth it. These tyres are ruined. I don't know. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Good night.